I have the one that Kiana did, not the one that Jared did this morning. I saw.
Did you see the run of show for this?
No, this is the first time I've seen this.
Did you see the run of show for this?
No, this is the first time I've seen this.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's where
solidarity in the face of catastrophe. Let us march together. Let us fight together. Let us laugh together. Let us dance together. Let us smile together. Let us cry together. We will not allow the organized greed to have the last word. Love supreme or love supreme.
Takes tremendous discipline, takes tremendous courage to think for yourself, to examine yourself. That Socratic imperative of examining yourself requires courage. You know, Wayne Butler Yeats used to say, it takes more courage to examine the dark corners of your own soul than it does for a soldier to fight on the battlefield. Courage to think critically. Courage is the enabling virtue for any philosopher, for any human being, I think, in the end.
People to carry out nonviolent civil disobedience. A couple of dozen people linked arms and were arrested.
Princeton University professor Cornel West was one of 19 people arrested on the steps of the U.S. Supreme Court during a protest against money in politics.
You're joking!
Are you denying us access to a public building?
And we here because we want to keep the family center stage.
Whiteness can't be reduced to white supremacy. You got a whole lot of white brothers and sisters fighting against white supremacy.
We got a choice between neo-fascists like Brother Trump or milquetoast neoliberals like Brother Biden. Wow, well, I'm so happy to make a world-shaking decision. You know what I mean?
You almost agreed with me.
No, not at all.
Your solar plexus winds towards my direction.
No,
I got it wrong.
All right.
You got to come back more often. We miss you.
Democrats feeding the Republicans, Republicans feeding the Democrats, and yet poor people, working people, finding themselves pushed to the margins.
I believe a Palestinian baby has the same value as an Israeli baby.
We have to have people who are in solidarity, who get beyond their petty differences and be able to hold hands symbolically and literally and fight by straightening your backs up.
Ready to go. You go, Jared? Go.
Greetings. My name is Derek Muhammad. I am President CEO of Bossville Farms, located here in South Carolina. I would like to introduce to you today the chairman of the United Citizens Party of South Carolina, Pastor Christopher Nellums. Pastor Nellums was educated in the public schools here in Richland County. He is a graduate of the Keenan High School and attended Midland Technical College, Dickerson Theological Seminary, and is a graduate of Benedict College here in South Carolina. He is a certified grant writer. He has also ran for the state senate in 2004, 2008, and 2018. In 2018 and 2022, he was a statewide candidate for the Commission of Agriculture, and he is currently the chairman of United Citizens Party of South Carolina, presently the only Black political party in the United States. Pastor Nellums has been an entrepreneur since 1985 and has founded several businesses. He is also a part of the Masonic Order. In 1990, Pastor Nellums entered the ministry in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. He served as pastor with the AME Church for over 20 years. In 2010, Pastor Nellums expanded Speak to My Heart Ministries, Incorporated, and opened the first Speak to My Heart Ministries Church in Winsboro, where he serves as chief pastor and overseer. Today, I would like to introduce to some and present to others Pastor Christopher Nellums, of the United Citizens Party. Chairman.
Thank you, Brother Muhammad. The United Citizens Party was searching for a candidate to run for president of these United States who embodied the vision of this party. 4 essentials stood out that our candidate should have. Number 1, divine appointment, approachable attitude, sincere consciousness, and stick-to-itiveness. The United Citizens Party believed that Cornel West possessed each of these qualities. It is our belief that God specifically orchestrated this time for Dr. Cornel West to run for president of these United States. Today, I want to present to you our candidate for the office of president of these United States, Dr. Cornel West.
Brother, both Chris and John Nellums have been visionary and courageous leaders in the great state of South Carolina. I am deeply humbled. I am deeply honored. And when I think of South Carolina, I know South Carolina has been ground zero for the struggle for black freedom. Black freedom has always been the leaven in the loaf of American democracy. Now, I know Mississippi can give you some competition now. Oh, yes, indeed. But when I think of Mary McLeod Bethune, I think of Marion Wright Edelman, probably the greatest prophetic figure after Martin Luther King Jr. in focusing on poverty. When I think of Satima Clark, and when I think of Dizzy Gillespie, and I haven't even got to Barnwell, South Carolina with James Brown. What's important about that tradition? Oh, that's a great black people with a great tradition that in the face of overwhelming hatred, dishing out love warriors in the face of terror, dishing out freedom fighters, and in the face of trauma, dishing out wounded healers. That is what the United Citizens Party represents to me. And yes, I come out of the legacy of Shiloh Baptist Church, of Martin Luther King Jr. and Fannie Lou Hamer, so we connect our calling and our vocation to our service to the least of these, to those wrestling with mass incarceration, those wrestling with poverty, those wrestling with a military budget that is bloated, but when it comes to health care for all and education for all and safe neighborhoods for all, they can't find a penny. That's the tradition that produced me, and that's why I am so profoundly blessed to accept this grand endorsement of my precious brothers and sisters in United Citizens Party. And we are going to shake up the world. Oh, yes, but we're going to do it with a sense of humility in light of our calling, that we are here to be used by something grander than us, spirit and power mightier than us. Yes, I am a revolutionary Christian, and I'm explicit about that. But I embrace my precious Muslims, like my dear brother Derek Muhammad. I embrace my Buddhists. I embrace my Hindus. I embrace my secular brothers and sisters. I embrace my Jews. I embrace any human being made in the image of God who's willing to be, in the language of John Coltrane, a force for good. And it begins by focusing on the poor and working class peoples. I stand with those wrestling with genocide in Gaza. I stand with those wrestling with death in Sudan. I stand with those wrestling with poverty in South Carolina. So thank you, my dear brother Chris. I salute you. Thank you, my dear brother John. I salute you. I salute all of those who've worked so hard at this moment of celebration as we fortify ourselves for deep dedication, for service to the people. All colors, all genders, all religious identities, but most importantly, willing with integrity and honesty to tell the truth, and the condition of truth is always to allow suffering to speak.
voting. We're voting.
Cornel West.
We need you to be part and parcel of wrestling with this corporate duopoly, this two-party system that impedes, it gets in the way of the unleashing of the kind of policies of abolishing poverty and homelessness, of dealing with working wages, cutting back on militarism, and most importantly, trying to ensure that the best of who we are as a people can be more manifest, can be more concrete, because the crisis is real and these catastrophes are bombarding us. Please come join us.
Thank you so much, Dr. West, for those comments. My name is Cornel, and I am the chairman of the UCP. We are excited in South Carolina about this transformation that is taking place in South Carolina. You don't have just two parties now. We have another party with another viable candidate that will stand in front of the people and share with the people that which is great for the people. So we are excited here in South Carolina. This is our opportunity to make a different decision. And so UCP is standing in the forefront of the state of South Carolina, as well as America, saying we have a candidate, and that candidate is Dr. Cornel West, someone who is brilliant, who's bright, who will bring about a tremendous change in this state. So we are excited here. Come join us here in South Carolina. Be one of those that support this state and support this country with a new candidate, Dr. Cornel West, President of these United States. Thank you.
I'm voting. We're voting.
Cornel West.
We need you to be part and parcel of wrestling with this corporate duopoly, this two-party system that impedes, it gets in the way of the unleashing of the kind of policies of abolishing poverty and homelessness, of dealing with working wages, cutting back on militarism, and most importantly, trying to ensure that the best of who we are as a people can be more manifest, can be more concrete, because the crisis is real and these catastrophes are bombarding us. Please come join us.